I don't know if it's the best news. The best would be somehow the status remaining quo or remaining as, in its current condition as possible, because it's hard for the team to be run from a fan standpoint any better than it's been run. They just pay everybody, and as a front-facing owner, even though it's not Wick's team, Wick's front-facing ownership is about as good as you could ask for. It's in large respects too good to be true, because it is too good to be true. It wasn't his money. But be that as it may. So if Pagliuca is going to approximate that as close as anyone else, then that's what you should want. But Jeffrey Lurie's not that far behind. And you just look at how he's run the Philadelphia Eagles. Spends big, wins at a good clip, gives a crap, and did I mention spends? And, well, that's about all you can judge an owner on. I've always told you judge them on two things: how they spend and who they hire. And if they give a crap, that's great. But if you do the first two things, it really doesn't matter. If they meddle or don't care or aren't there, if you just hire the right people and spend money, that's that. But giving a crap, I guess, does help on some level. Jeffrey Lurie bought the Philadelphia Eagles in 1994. So he's owned it going on 30 years. 19 playoff appearances, 8 conference title games, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 1 title. What I particularly like is the most recent stuff. They beat you in 2017, and while you've subsequently circled the drain, they never really did. They made the playoffs the next 2 years under Doug Peterson, then they fell off in 2020. They finished 4-11-1, and they hired Nick Sirianni. I think Howie Roseman was already there, but they blew out Doug Peterson, changed coaches, sort of recommitted, and they've been a playoff team ever since, and they're back in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years. And you can't get out of your own way.
And they probably have the best roster in the league.
And I think you can make that case. And they're doing all this without elite quarterbacks, which to me is, again, the line of demarcation. Everyone can be the Patriots, or anyone can be the Patriots for those 20 years or the Chiefs currently, but do it without the guy, and that proves a little something to me anyway. Jeffrey Lurie would be a great result for the Celtics if it's not Pags or somehow Wick keeping the team. Your thoughts?
Look, I like it. As soon as I heard it, I liked it. I mean, given what the reputation is down there, I know people get all geeked up about the fact that he has local roots. The big thing to me is that he spends. So that's what I'm interested in. Give me a guy with deep pockets. The local roots, people care about that. I don't, because I don't know how far it really gets you. At the end of the day, I want someone who cares. I'll tell you what my one real major caveat is, or concern. He already owns a team. Now he's going to own 2. So I don't, to me, I've talked to you about this in the past. I wouldn't mind a rule somewhere in there that says you're not allowed to own more than one professional sports franchise in the 4 major leagues here, at a time. Now, I know there are people that already have that, but the Red Sox situation concerns me. And so, now again, all things considered, I'll take it.
Yeah, but a second team, it's not like he's also looking to get into F1 racing and soccer. And, well, I mean, for now, I would feel like he would care and want to spend the money because he's done it with the Eagles.
So I just, I think the one thing you want as a fan is you want someone who's invested.
So he's a Boston guy, BB&N. Just again, reading from his wiki, his big company that he founded. It's family money, but his company was Chestnut Hill Productions. Just again, reading from his wiki, as a fan of all Boston sports teams, Lurie went to the games and put himself to sleep listening to the Boston Red Sox on his transistor radio. The Luries had been season ticket holders since the New England Patriots franchise began in 1960, the year the American Football League was founded, and the Packers were on their way to 5. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not in there. Lurie cheered for Gino Capoletti, Houston Antwine, and Babe Parilli. In 1993, Lurie tried to buy the New England Patriots, but he dropped out of the bidding at $150 million when his uncle Richard Smith nixed the purchase based on the financials. Lurie's background, he's a little bit of an amalgamation of Kraft and Wick in that, you just read there, Jeffrey Lurie was bidding, I'm putting in air quotes, was bidding on the Patriots until his uncle told him, that's it.
Enough.
We're stopping at 150. So it wasn't his money. Lurie's mother's family created General Cinema?
Yeah, General Cinema.
Okay, so that's Lurie's mother's side. So when Lurie went into business and was getting money, he had to go to his uncles, right, to get the money. And apparently his uncles at 150 said, which bad call there, Uncle Richard Smith. You should have kept going. Kraft got it for what, 174 or something like that?
Something like that.
So Lurie was in on the Patriots. He stopped short when the uncle shut off the faucet. Lurie's name also had resurfaced in sales talks regarding the Rams. He was a potential investor in a bid for a Baltimore expansion team. 5 months later, Smith, Uncle Richard agreed to let his nephew buy the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, go ahead, Jeffrey. You can have the Eagles. Don't you love how these people...
No,
fine.
I'll get you a cheaper toy.
Would you quit bugging me already? You can have the Eagles. I'm sorry, we just lost out on the Patriots, but here, have the Eagles. Sort of like at Christmas, Murray, when you didn't get the talking car. They gave you something else.
Knight Rider talking car, yeah.
Exactly.
It's very traumatic.
So, in this case, the Luries made up the trauma for Jeff of not being given the Patriots. We said, fine, we'll give you the Eagles. Are you satisfied? Will you shut up now? And so we got the Eagles in 94 for $195 million.
Pretty good deal.
I'd rather have the Patriots for 174.
You should have just kicked in.
Right?
Although, think about it. Like, I don't know, is Belichick here as a result if Kraft's not here?
Well, that's a good point. What can I tell you? So I don't know what the money situation is now if he still has to go to Uncle Richard to get the money. But so this is kind of why. So that's why I say he's kind of a blend of. So he sat on the metal bleachers. Blah blah blah. Can I get the J-O emotion somewhere? So he sat on the metal bleachers. He was there rooting on Babe Parilli. He apparently has Celtics season tickets to this day, or a luxury box or something. When the Celtics were in the finals last year, I think he brought in. That's why all those Eagles players were there. Lurie brought him because he's got a box. So he's a big Boston sports fan. He sat on the metal bleachers. Blah blah blah. But he's got to go to Uncle Richard for the money, like Wick's got to go to his old man for the money. So he's kind of a combination of Kraft and Wick, which is fine.
Yeah, sure.
It could be much worse.
Sure.
And that's all.
So let me ask you, since we're discussing the possibilities, the pluses and the minuses. Does his presence in Boston as owner of the Celtics and owner of the Eagles at all give the Krafts a kick in the ass?
Yes, because I was just, this is my next thing. I've heard, I can't confirm, I don't know, but I don't know if the Luries and the Krafts are great. Or there have been times where they haven't been great.
Well, but that's good.
Or if it's standard, sort of like these NFL owners are such, ego bitchy, like they're always trying to screw each other, or they're just so competitive with each other. I don't know if it's just standard NFL ownership competitiveness, or there was an actual thing there with the Krafts and the Luries. I don't know.
Okay, well, I can guarantee you this: if they were good, with him arriving in town, they won't be for long.
Yeah, I think I think it would add to some good.
It'll goose them a little.
Yes, exactly. Create some tension there.
Yeah, good competitive dynamic.
What are you doing here on our turf?
Yes, I'm in.
Right.
I'm in. If that's the case, does it goose him at all? My answer is yes, I'm in.
And again, I'm going long, but Jimmy sent me two things that are just going to, oh my God, I needed to take a moment.
I want everybody goosed.
So,
you're welcome.
So there is a website. I should ask for some sort of kickback here. It's a copyright infringement. Thecapisfake.com.
It really should be thecapiscrap.com.
But the sentiment, thecapisfake.com. Because we all know the real money spending is what counts. Here is average annual cash spending, 2011 to 2023. Average.
Okay, average.
Average. So guess who spends on average the most real money in the league over the last 12, 13 years?
Do tell.
The Philadelphia Eagles. Number one, they average cash spending over the last 12 years, $191 million. Guess who's second? The publicly owned nonprofit 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers.
Really? Green Bay second?
Listen, unlike you all, we don't have to set money aside so we can get our owner a helicopter and pay for the kids, the estate in Montauk.
Got it.
It all goes back into the facility. We're nonprofit.
I understand.
That's why we're really America's team. So we spend. Philly 1 at 191 average per year. Green Bay 2 at 186. The Kansas City Chiefs 3 at 180.
Wow, the Chiefs.
The Miami Dolphins 4 at 179. the San Francisco 49ers, 5 at 178. Want me just to keep going until I get to a team you might care about?
Might be a while.
Number 6, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 177. Number 7, the Chargers. Number 8, the Jets. Number 9, the Saints. Number 10, the Bills. I'll spare you what's in between because we don't get to your New England Patriots until we get to number 31.
Ooh.
$163 million on average per year over the last 12. So let me just reset. On average, over the last 12 years, the Eagles have spent $191 million a year. You have spent $163 million, just a gap of around $28 million a year.
It's a couple of good players.
Which you would say, it doesn't sound like much, except unless you want a new helicopter, or a yacht, or a left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
You could use that money for any of those things. Or a giant phallic symbol in your north end zone that I still don't know what purpose it serves other than to have another banquet space. But either way, so the Philadelphia Eagles have spent more than any team by a pretty decent margin, $5 million a year over the Packers, and almost $30 million a year over the New England Patriots on average over the last 12 years. Then we looked at this. Best records since 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1?
Patriots.
Number 2?
Philly.
Green Bay.
Packers. Number 3, Steelers. Number 4, Chiefs. Number 5, Ravens. Number 6, Eagles. And I'll just stop there. Colts are 7, Broncos are 8, Vikings are 9, Seahawks are 10. But if you line up the big spending teams, Packers, 2nd in wins, 2nd in money. The Eagles, 6th in wins, 1st in money. The Chiefs, 3rd in money, 4th in wins. The Miami Dolphins, not on that wins list. Anyway, there's a lot of repeats on the most winning teams and the highest spending teams.
Steelers, 3rd most wins, 6th most in spending.
Thank you.
Steelers are 6th most in spending?
6th most in spending. I just gave that to you. 6th most in spending.
I would have guessed the Steelers were lower than that.
Packers, Steelers, Chiefs, Eagles, all big spending teams. They all win big. There's only one team that is at number 1 on one list and number 31 on the other.
Brady.
Isn't that interesting?
Again, Brady is responsible for this, too.
Just about no team in the NFL has spent less than you in 12 years. And yet, and this even includes the last couple. I guess it's just through 2013, so it doesn't include last year. Or 2023. You've still won the most. You say Brady was pretty good.
Brady.
Pretty good ROI on Tom Brady?
Again, it's because of Brady. So this is what everybody's waiting for now is another lottery ticket named Tom Brady. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.